and welcome. Yes, as you see, I got this very nice comment. Thank you so much. And this video is, you could say, a viewer's request. So I do get your comments. I know I'm a little bit behind with responding, but I wanted to thank you for your comments. And I got another suggestion about Madam Fox and her guy. I forgot his name. I'm going to do that video as well. Please give me your comments. Whose charts do you want to see? I have to admit I'm not very much into celebrity gossip. So occasionally you pick something up, right? But I am not an expert, so I need your help to know whom I can do. Also, you saw I started this channel on January 1st. I do have 18 subscribers so far. Actually, it's 19. Need to refresh. I need some more, guys. Help me out here. But let's go to this nice comment that was the inspiration for this video. I love this reading about Jennifer Lopez and Ben Affleck. They're clearly soulmates, and based on being a fan of hers and theirs during their first relationship, they seem to have grown and learned and something like probably will continue to do so. I would like to know maybe why she and A-Rod and her previous Leo husband Chris Judd didn't work, as all three were Leo sons and Chris has the same birthday as Ben. I want to get into that, and we will. Unfortunately, I already recorded this video today. It was like an hour long, and then I noticed it had no sound whatsoever because I did not plug in the mic. So we are going to redo this, and let's dive right in. But before we dive right in, I would like to ask you again to please subscribe, like my videos. It will help me grow my channel. And of course, I am available for personal readings like this as well. And also, please check out my coaching videos. If you want to know the power of our words, one word can change a situation. It's a success story of one of my clients. So check it out if this pops up right here. Anyway, we want to talk about Jennifer Lopez and what was their name? Chris Judd and A-Rod. I had to Google them. I didn't read anything about them, but I couldn't find them in here for some weird reason. They are not listed as her partners, so we had to make sure who they are. I did not know, but I did find their information on other web pages. They were not on this side, but I did find them and looked at their charts, so we can actually dive right in. But again, your question was, they're all Leos, right? And why did it not work out with them, especially since they have the same birthday, exactly, Ben and Chris Judd. The thing is, they may have the same birthday but not the same birth year, and we can see it here. This is Ben. He was born in 1972, and unfortunately, let's go back here. I closed their synastry. Sorry for that. Let's get it again. I'm so sorry, my computer is a bit old, hence it is very slow. Okay, we got it here. Give me a second and we do click on this, and then we will have a nice chart. Okay. And so they are born at different times, okay? And when we're going to click on that, and let's discard of this one, we don't need this, you will see that there are some differences, okay? Please check. This would be, damn, who was that? That would be the Chris Judd guy, and that would be Ben. Oh gee, now I have to check it again, but I'm pretty sure. It unfortunately doesn't say. It just says partner A and B, but Chris Judd was the one born at 69. Okay, so this is the Chris Judd guy, and Ben Affleck is the other one. I'm sorry, you see it's past 1 a.m. I still wanted to record this again. And if we look at this, we do see some differences. Of course, the blue would be Jennifer Lopez and orange would be the guys in all of these different charts. We do see some differences going on here, okay? We do see, yes, they do share the Leo sun. However, we don't have the same moon signs, for example. They don't have the same rising sign. Let's see, where is his rising sign? Cancer. This would be Ben, and Chris would have his rising sign. I'm sorry, it is so slow. At Leo as well. But they do have different moon placements, so they are not completely the same. And even if you look at the connections here, you see the blue lines or what's going on here. This is Chris, and we do have more connections, more lines going on with Ben. Okay, so that is the reason why when we attract someone, just because they're the same sun sign does not automatically mean that they are the perfect match. Okay, they do have similarities, but again, they were not born in the same year, and they do have different rising signs, which means also different houses. And especially since they don't have the same year, a lot has changed in here, and you saw it with the lines here with the connections. However, it is kind of interesting that her being a Leo sun would attract one Leo, two Leos with Chris, another Leo, and then the A-Rod guy, Alexander Rodriguez, I believe, another Leo. So this is kind of like interesting that she keeps attracting Leo people. And my theory, or also something that I was talking about with spirit, is that we often attract the same energies for two reasons. One is maybe you have ever watched Abraham Hicks videos, and Abraham Hicks is talking about the vortex. When we have a relationship, you like something, then you would put that in the vortex. The vortex is like a file cabinet of spirit. They always say, okay, you like this or you don't like that, registered, and maybe she really likes this Leo energy. I mean, she has it herself, and maybe she really likes people who are similar to her. That might be a personal preference. And if we do have divine counterparts, again, that is something we kind of like decided before we were born. However, since we do grow and develop on this earth, we do get to change our mind. But she really seems to like the Leo energy. And that is the reason why Spirit noticed, okay, you like Leo energy, so we give you Leo energy. Okay, that is one thing. The other thing, that's my theory, is, and again, I was talking to Spirit about it, they kind of confirmed, we do get, if we do have a divine counterpart, we will get prepared for that. And we said Ben might be her divine counterpart. They do have, I mean, you saw their reading, right? I mean, that was wow. There was definitely like high soul connection aspects in there. So maybe if they do make it work, they will grow old together. I mean, we saw the reading of Jason Momoa and Lisa Bonet, or Bonnet, I don't know how to pronounce it. They didn't have that strong aspects. I had more the theory that he manifested her. However, they did have soulmate aspects. They did have aspects for long-lasting relationships, but they didn't make it work. I mean, maybe they get back together. I wish it for them. Or even if they don't get back together, I wish for both of them to be happy. But again, we do have some kind of free will. But again, if we have a divine counterpart, we will get prepared for that. And for me personally, in my personal twin flame relationship, it's not the sun sign. I am, and I do have a monadic twin flame. So if you saw my other videos, you know what that means, that what the different energy is. And my moon sign, for example, is moon in Aquarius, which would be the yang, the masculine aspect of Saturn energy. So my monadic twin flame would share that Saturn energy, but would have the complementary, the yin aspect of Saturn, which would be Capricorn. So the chance for me to meet a moon in Capricorn guy, is 1 to 12. Or 1/12, you could say, since there's 12 different signs. And my twin flame, of course, my monadic twin flame is a moon in Capricorn, so chance 1 to 12. And we do a little math here. If the chance to meet another moon in Capricorn would be 12 times 12, okay? Because again, there is 12 moon signs. And then 12 times 12, you don't need a calculator for that, of course, it's 144. But what is the chance of meeting another moon sign, the third one in a row, that is also moon in Capricorn? And then we have, I do need a calculator for that, it's 144 times 12, which is 1728. You know, like 1/4, it is that, or you could do it in percentage. 1 divided by 1728. So that would be your chance to meet 3 moon and Capricorns in a row. Okay, it's not a high number at all. It's less than 1%, way less than 1%, to be honest. It is like 1 to 1728. This did happen with me. Why did it happen? Because the moon and energy, the moon and Capricorn energy, like my twin flame has, the 2 guys before him, like my split twin had a moon in Capricorn, and the guy before him as well. I was getting prepared for that kind of energy, especially since this can be kind of like dense energy. So we do attract the same thing over and over and over again. And then another thing that I did, I was looking at my person's only the sun, moon, rising sign. Yeah, there would be Gemini, Capricorn, and Leo. And I made a list of those people who are closest to me, like my 2 brothers that I love and adore, my best friends. You know, there was like a list with a little less than 10 people. And by being close to me, I don't mean like every family member. I mean the ones that I actually love spending time with. And all of them had at least one of the aspects, Leo, Capricorn, and Gemini, in their own sun, moon, or rising sign. At least one. Okay, which means I attracted similar energy to my divine counterpart again and again and again. My best friend, for example, is also a Leo rising, but I'm a Virgo sun and she's a Virgo moon, so she also has the same aspects than I do. My brother as well. So we do attract the same kind of energy over and over and over again. So it's not a surprise that she would attract 3 Leo suns. Maybe there's more. I don't know how many guys she's had. We just checked 3 guys and all of them were Leo suns. So again, we do attract similar energy over and over and over again, especially if we have to learn something from it. But I don't mean toxic, you know. I mean like getting used to this energy. It's preparing us for our divine counterpart. Learning doesn't always have to be something that is heavy. And again, like the chance, if you meet like 100 guys, then of course it's a big chance to meet other Leo signs, of course. But again, for me, the moon in Capricorn, there were 3 guys in a row, which means ever since 2009, every guy I liked was a moon in Capricorn. A long time. I mean, there were only 3 guys that I really liked, but all of them 3 moon and Capricorns in a row. That has a meaning, of course. We do attract the same energies. And then another thing we have to take into consideration is that Leo energy is like the king energy, likes to be admired. And I'm not saying this in a judgmental way, because we never know why did a soul choose to come here as a Leo. You know, I don't really believe in past lives anymore, since there is no time. There is no past lives as well. There's just other streams of consciousness that we can connect to and draw out information because they share a similar frequency than ours. But if you wanted to hold on to the concept of past lives, it makes it easier to explain something. Let's see, there was something who was always overseen, always overlooked, and they decided, next time I go down there, I want to be seen. And then they could have like a Leo sun, Leo moon, for example. Or, you know, if we hold on to the concept of past lives, things we didn't really clear in a past life, we take into our early childhood. And then that could be someone who either got a lot of attention as a child and absolutely loved it, or didn't get any attention as a child and suffered from that and thought, oh, someday I really want to get that attention. And so the need for attention could transpire into having strong Leo in your chart. And I mean, now we're talking about celebrities. Okay, you usually don't get a celebrity just by chance. I mean, it does happen. It does happen, of course. But often those are people who wanted to be seen, who wanted to be in the public. So that is typical Leo energy. And many celebrities would have strong Leo, or Jupiter as well. Whereas Jupiter is not so much like a want to be seen, it's more like it happened by chance and then they blew up. And one thing is very interesting when we talk about astrology, we talk about, well, in German we would say a oh god, now I forget the name, geocentric, okay, and then heliocentric, which means there is this heliocentric would mean that the sun, like we do know in the solar system, is the center of the universe. But in astrology we put the earth at the center of the universe, because we want to see how the planets around us, and the sun would be one of the planets in this in astrology, how they move around us. And so this would be the geocentrical standpoint or geocentrical view. The earth is the center of the universe, and when we look at the sky, we do perceive the sun as moving. I mean, it is not moving, it's the earth that is turning, but we do perceive the sun as moving. So the sun is coming up, it's rising, and it's, in German we say sinking. Do you say sinking in English? I don't know, but you know what I mean. Which means Leo energy can be connected to fame, but it's gonna, can rise and fall. Whereas Jupiter, it's the lucky planet. It's the planet of the big, grandiose energy. So it could be like A-list, like over the top celebrity, but not because of an inner need, because it just happened, for example. And I want to talk about this, talk about Juno for a second. Juno, it's just because this text explains it very well. Juno is our asteroid that determines our high-level soul connection, if we have one. Scorpio, especially in women, the Mars, the Mars sign, not Scorpio. The Mars sign, I have Mars in Scorpio, that's why I said that. The Scorpio sign would determine what kind of guy you're into. Jupiter would show you like your husband, and for men it would be more like Venus and the moon. But those signs would say, yeah, that's what you're into, that's what you like. And for Juno shows like if you have a divine counterpart, what would that be? So in divine counterpart connections, it is very often that one person's Juno sign would be the other person's like sun or moon, or a Venus sign, for example. It doesn't have to be. For example, I am a Virgo sun, my twin flame has Juno in Virgo, and I have Juno in Sagittarius. But he's not a Sagittarius. But if you read this, your soulmate could be from a different religion, culture, and background, and maybe a foreigner or come from another country. He or she could be famous and have a talent for writing, teaching, or education. You may follow this person to another country or travel extensively to find him or her. So, like, almost all of that is true. I mean, he's not a teacher. He's not into education. But this is my guy. We don't have a different religion. But again, so if you, for example, would have Juno in Leo, you could attract a divine counterpart that is a public figure, but this would be, Sagittarius would be A-list public figure, for example. So that's like a bit of a difference. However, when we talk about celebrities, you will find a lot of celebrities with Leo placements. Leo or Jupiter, Sagittarius placements. Leo is the sun. Leo is the shining. It's not a star, but it's like the shining, right? And the sun gets attention, of course. Leo gets attention. Leo is the king. So since she's dating guys in the entertainment industry in some kind of way, I think some of them are famous sports people, but still publicly recognized. So, of course, it's not a big surprise since many celebrities, of course, have the Leo placement because they want to be seen, they choose to be seen that she is dating Leos. But again, the main thing would be you attract something that you want, something that you really like. If you are ascendant, if not, you will constantly attract what you don't like in order to heal something. But, 3 Leos in a row, I mean, I don't know if they were in a row. Were there other guys in between? I have no idea. But again, she would attract Leo energy because again, it must be something that she likes, something that she enjoys. It is noted by the universe, and the other Leo guys may have prepared her for divine counterparts if Ben is her divine counterpart, and then that would be another reason why she constantly attracted Leo energy. You know, it's not like I said, yeah, the universe is sending you someone, but basically it's we attract something, and she attracted 3 Leos. Mathematically, again, it doesn't make sense, but energetically it absolutely does. Okay, that was enough about them. With the other guys, what was his name? Shoot. Chris Judd, right? Chris Judd and A-Rod, Alexander Rodriguez. Okay, with those guys, I didn't do the entire thing. You saw I just recently did Heidi Klum and Tom Kaulitz. So stay tuned, that one's coming up next. I didn't do that. We're not going to go that deep into it. But of course we're going to talk about them as well. We're just going to do it, I'm just going to speak, and then we're going to check their relationship as well. Okay, so with Ben, I want to go back to Ben. We saw a lot of mirroring going on. The same moon sign, the same sun sign, the same moon sign, Mercury. We saw the rising sign is complementary, and Leo and Cancer, that this is complementary energy since it's the sun and the moon. I've talked about this. So you do see a lot of sameness going on. That's why I titled them Mirror Souls, because they are mirroring each other a lot. Also when it comes to houses, of course, they do mirror each other a lot. Check out that video. And we do have less of that here. We got the same sun sign, yes. We got different moon signs. She would be partner A. She's the blue one. So she's got the moon in Scorpio. He's got it in Virgo. Then the rising sign, they are both Leos. Okay, they have that in common as well. But then Mercury is different. The Venus is completely different. Mars is the same. We got it down here in Sagittarius, which means sexual compatibility, liking the same stuff, of course. I'm not trying to trash Mars in in Sagittarius, but it could be like a bit of a placement that can have a lot of partners. Doesn't have to, of course. You have to take everything into consideration, but this is like a lot of sex. Jupiter, yeah, here we're talking about the generational planets, and I believe they're both born in 1969. Okay, so they will have a lot of these in common. Let's not focus on those. Same north nodes, of course. Okay, this is Chris Judd again. That was his name, right? Chris Judd. Okay, this guy was A-Rod Rodriguez. Sorry, Chris Judd. I have no idea who that is, to be honest. I think I saw a picture of him earlier. I have no idea. Was he the sports guy, or was the other? Like, doesn't matter. Okay, so okay, what do we have here? Sorry, I kind of like blanked out right now. I already recorded this today, but now I blanked out. We do have some of the red lines, the squares going on, and unfortunately it's with her Venus. That's something we don't like, right? I mean, Venus squares, and there is a good thing. They do have a Venus-Sun sextile. That's a very harmonious placement, to be honest. Let's check what we have here. What is it squaring? It is squaring Mercury, like all of that's down here, basically. No, not Jupiter. Yeah, there's again a lot of squares going on, especially bad, of course, when it comes to personal planets, to the moon, and we've got it squaring the south node, which can indicate some kind of karmic connection. Again, don't be always freaking out when we hear karma. Karma is something that's in balance. We always attract people that show us where we stand. So if we attract somebody with a lot of squares, that would show us that we do have something unhealed, and we attract somebody who would show us that. So karma is no punishment by God. It is just something that is not balanced, and we get shown what is not balanced in order to balance it. That's all it is. But I don't like it that it's like squaring the moon. That means like they're not emotionally compatible. They're very different. However, and that's the good thing, and we saw a lot of that in the Heidi Klum and Tom Cowlitz video. They also have a lot of squares, but they have the same thing they have. It is Gemini and Virgo. And Gemini and Virgo squares are not as bad as other squares. Also, Pisces and Sagittarius squares are not as bad as other squares. Why? Because those signs are both ruled by Mercury, so they share this Mercury connection, and that makes it less bad, you know, because Mercury, it's the yin yang, kind of gets each other, and here we do have it with Jupiter. Those are both Jupiter signs, so even if they would be a square, they would still have some similar energies, okay? Nevertheless, they do have some squares, and it's even rough if it's like Venus and Moon squares that can talk about being emotionally not too compatible. That is something we don't like as much. Then we do have the Saturn. We can't discard the conjunction, because again they were both born in 1969, so of course Saturn is conjunct. It is forming a very positive aspect to Mercury. Okay, that's not too important. That would be good in like a business relationship, something like that, or anything that has to do with communication. It's not necessarily a business placement, but communication, you know, the way we think alike. In a relationship is of course good if you think alike, but you know, Saturn is commitment with this thinking. It's, you know, we want to have a positive Saturn placement to the other person's Sun, Moon or Venus sign, and here we don't have that. We do have a square to the Sun, which can, is Saturn, any Saturn combination to somebody's Sun, Moon or Venus, even if it's a square, is better than none. Because if there's no connection at all, that could highlight it's hard to ground it, and it's not happening at all. Here, this connection can say, yes, you can stay together. But in the flip side, it could be you stay together because of some sense of responsibility. That could also be Saturn, but not because we're happy. So this is a connection that shows us, yes, we do have a chance to stay together for the long term, but if it's a square, it doesn't have to action at all, or it is something that it requires a lot of work to make it work, to get to the finish line, to stay connected with the square. So that is something we do not like so much. We do not like the Venus squares. Where's his Venus? What do we have here? His Venus? There. Yeah, his Venus, we can kind of discard the black leather. So his Venus doesn't aspect anything. Again, not a very good thing if Venus doesn't aspect anything. They do have one Venus aspect, so there is that. But again, there's a lot of negative stuff going on with the Venus, and that can indicate a different, not so much a different way of thinking, since it's both mercurial signs, but not getting emotionally fulfilled. That could have been an issue here. Let's see the other person's moon. That would be her moon. Her moon is trining what? No, her moon is not trining anything. It's her sun is trining his Neptune, and we do have the Neptune moon placement here. And we were talking about this in a video we did recently. Ben Affleck, Jennifer Garner, I believe. There was a lot of 12th house stuff, and that can be difficult because 12th house stuff, the 12th house can talk about illusions. It can talk about wearing the rose-colored glasses and not really seeing the other person for whom they really are. So 12th house placement can be a good thing, because the 12th house can also talk about that transcendental love, but you will have to need other aspects, because Neptune, the 12th house, Pisces, can talk about a higher love, but also illusion. So we do have to see what exactly is going on here. Here it could highlight that there is some kind of illusion. You don't really get to see the other person. You have the illusion, like, yes, this is a special connection, but unfortunately Neptune is trining the sun, which means the sun is trying to shine the light on who is this person, and not really being able to figure it out. So that could be another aspect. It's his sun, and her sun is trining this connection, which means that maybe she had a better chance, especially since her sun is in the 12th house. She already has this kind of Pisces energy within her. She maybe had a better chance to see whom he is. However, even though it's a trine, this can talk about not really seeing the other person for who they are, and he did have difficulties. And also what we do see here, it is square between the sun and the moon, and that is something we do not like at all. That's something we do not like at all. In many high soul connections, you will find connections between the sun and the moon. Often they are conjunctions, or at least the sun and the moon are in the same sign. We do have that a lot. You probably saw that a lot in the other videos we did so far. But a square is not a good thing, because a square is a connection between the sun and the moon. It's usually talking about helping each other, or helping is not the right word. What is the right word? Like assisting. It's not the word I was looking for. Supporting, that's the word. Supporting one another. And usually, especially the sun person supporting the moon person emotionally, since the sun is the more masculine aspect. And if we have a square between the sun and the moon, that could mean that she did not feel supported by him. Again, I don't know these people. I don't even know who he is. I have known nothing about their relationship. But that could be a thing. She did not feel supported, or maybe he tried and didn't do it right, or whatever it is. This could be like a bit, again, karmic. There is some difficulty. It can be overcome. Again, please check out my video, how to turn a square into a trine. It's possible, but it does require work. A sun-moon square, since those are two of the most important aspects in our charts, that is something that is especially difficult, or it needs a special attention to overcome, and that could be one of the reasons why they didn't make it work, to be honest, even if they're both Leo suns and share this sun connection and also the rising sign connection. It's not enough. This could be like a make it or break it situation, to be honest. And also this, like, not seeing the other person, illusion. It could also talk about lies, for example. We're talking about celebrities. I don't want to judge, but Neptune can also talk about some kind of addiction. It could be that played a role. Doesn't have to be. Sorry. We saw that with Ben Affleck and Jennifer Garner. But again, it is some kind of, not seeing the other person for who they really are. Then another thing we do see, we don't really have North Node connections. We don't need those, but we do have South Node connections that can indicate, especially you see it's her Pluto and his South Node. That's another, and also his Pluto and her South Node. That is again something that can be karmic. The South Node is talking about past life energy, and Pluto can talk about karmas, unhealed stuff, shadows. And that could mean that they met and they were showing each other's shadows from the past that were not healed. At the same time, of course, this is giving you the ability from it. I love Pluto energy. Pluto is the deepest possible emotions, and it gives you the ability to do your shadow work. It is confronting you with your shadow work, but remember the phoenix is burning down and then rising from the ashes. So it could be very transformational if you do it. If not, then it's just like an old cycle that's repeating over and over and over again, and you don't make it work. And also the Chiron connections, they don't have any other connections to Chiron except Chiron and Chiron. And usually I do love Chiron connections. Okay, we do have the point of fortune, meaning she maybe he brought her some kind of money. But again, this is, let's discard that. Fortune can talk about how we get money if somebody's, but not with Chiron. I wouldn't read too much into that with Chiron. It would be more if it would be the sun, for example, or Jupiter, of course, would be great. So again, I do love Chiron connections. Chiron is something Chiron connections you would find in Divine Counterpart connections, because you know that they come with a journey, they come for healing, and Chiron is the wounded healer. Two people meet each other not for drama bonding, but to heal each other's wounds, not by putting the band-aid on, but because of this connection that is just transforming and you just evolve, and that by itself is healing. And so we heal due to the existence of the other person, not because they do anything. Maybe of course they could be great conversations that give you like the aha moment that can be healing, but you know, I do read astrology also intuitive, and I am a medium. When I saw this Chiron connection, the first thing that popped into my mind, especially since they don't have any other connection, it's just Chiron on Chiron, was trauma bonding. And you see it's 6 degree right away. So there's may have been two people who are still wounded, and they met and they share the same wounds. And that of course is trauma bonding. It would be a different thing if this would form a nice connection to some, like a trine, or also a conjunction to the other person's Venus, Moon, or Sun. That would be a great thing, of course. But you see, it's unexpected. So I do really much get the energy of trauma bonding here, and that of course is not always like a good thing, or like never a good thing, because that in itself can not help us to grow but hold us back. And I get the sense that this is happening. They got the chance, and I said Pluto South Node gets me like, yeah, karma as well, gives you the chance to heal it, but if you don't do it, you don't do it. And then, so it get more like putting the other person on a pedestal, not really seeing them for who they were, and that's the reason why it did not work out. Also, the vertex that can talk about fate is not expected, and the Mars conjunction of course can talk about amazing sex. They were sexually compatible, and sex is so important in a relationship. I'm a Mars and Scorpio, so of course I would say that, but it's not everything. You need to have other factors as well. And with this Venus stuff going on here, and it's her Venus, where was his Venus being unexpected, the square between the Sun and the Moon. Then here we got more squares with the Moon and Venus. This to me looks more like trauma bonding, healing each other, or more likely triggering each other. I do see a past life, again, if you want to hold on to that concept, somewhat fated, you could say, with the Pluto South Node, but it can be triggering. And then we got Uranus involved as well in the mix. Uranus can talk about sudden changes. It can give you the ability to have a breakthrough, but you have to use that energy. And maybe they did, I don't know. Even if you break up and then you learn something from it, then it was good for something, right? Even if it was not your happy end with this person, it can help you evolve and prepare yourself for a happy end with another person if you take this chance. So if we compare it again with Ben Affleck, you see it's a completely different energy. I do have an entire video on that. They do have more beautiful, for example, here they get this beautiful Saturn-Venus connection, then Venus sextiling the Sun. That's an amazing thing. They do have some amazing stuff. Of course, there's something to learn as well, but we are talking about that in the other video. Here, this is more like a more difficult connection. Yes, this shows the ability to stay together, but again, it's not necessarily happy. And maybe they stay together since both of that is falling into the 10th house, because some kind of public recognition or like duty, or like, oh, I don't want to have another failed relationship, that would be embarrassing. That could be something like this, that they stay together after it was expired. It could be another thing. But again, yeah, let's talk about the other guy, A-Rod. And I already did this video. As I said, I liked this connection way better, but let me look at it again since I forgot everything I said earlier. It's like almost 2 a.m. and I forgot. We do have a sun conjunction, which of course is a beautiful thing. As you can tell, we don't have his birth time, so we don't have his houses. We don't have all of the information, but we do see some very good thing. And I saw a lot of things that said that they could have made it work or have a longer relationship, but I also saw some things that were against it. I just I forgot to do the composite. Do we want to jump back to the other guy? No, let's just stay there. Let's discard that. And then they do have this beautiful connection between his Saturn and the Sun. So that was serious commitment evolved. You know, they wanted to be together. They were both serious about the relationship. However, one of the things that could have been the no-go, why it broke, was the Venus-Moon square as well. And we had it here as well. Was it her Venus? Let's check that out. Her Venus and his Moon. Ah, you see. So this is the second time. Unfortunately, I don't know which of those guys came first. So she attracted two guys where her Venus formed a square to their Moon. Coincidence? No. You know, the Moon is going around once a month. The chance for that is very small. If we talk about chance, we talk about energy. So obviously that is something that she hadn't learned. So she attracted the same combination again. And maybe you know that from your own experience. You attract the same thing over and over and over and over again until you learn the lesson. So that must have been something she attracted again. And it doesn't matter who of those was first. If I look at that, this one looks less karmic, so I would make sense if this one was the second guy, the A-Rod, but again, I don't know. So let's dive right in. We do have the Sun-Moon trine I was talking about earlier. Energy I really, really like. Really amazing energy. Wait, it's his Sun and her Moon. It's even better if it's the guy's Sun and the girl's Moon, but either way, it's good. It shows support. For example, my twin flame and I, we have two of these. My Sun is trining his Moon and his Sun is trining my Moon, which means emotional support, and this is one of the most harmonious aspects actually you can have. This means that even if there's other stuff that could be considered toxic, it already kind of like, how would you say, dims it or makes it less severe, because this is amazing compatibility going on here. And also you see they have his Moon in a fire sign, his Sun, in a fire sign, and her Moon is in Scorpio, but still it's a trine. It's a very harmonious energy. Then we do have a Moon trine as well. Wow, even more amazing. But you see we have another, I was kind of like, look, it's again another connection between Neptune and the Moon, but it's her own stuff, so of course. But we do have a Moon trine. This is another beautiful thing, and this is kind of like weird. We do have this aspect and then this aspect. This would talk about being emotional compatible, especially since we do have two water signs here, and then we do have that is talking about being emotionally not compatible. So this can highlight, yes, it would be a good match, but there are some difficulties that need to be overcome. And also, one thing I would like to, I love Scorpio energy. I mean, I'm a Mars in Scorpio. I have not the Moon in Scorpio, but I do have a Moon-Pluto trine, which kind of gives me like Scorpio Moon energy. But Scorpio can be a double-edged sword. Scorpio can be either the Scorpio, the stinger, it can be, if it's awakened, it turns into the eagle, and if it's ascended, it turns into the phoenix. So Scorpio energy can be black or white. It really depends on your own sense of maturity. And honestly, when we have a connection between something in Scorpio, the other person, something in Pisces, even if it's a trine, it's not a bad thing. But that can be like not too good. But again, don't worry, we do have a trine, so this is not a bad thing. We do have the vertex unexpected again, so it doesn't talk a lot about fate. Let's check out the notes. Her south node is not really connected. Well, there we do have a sextile to his Mercury and Sun, maybe even. So that is something that is positive. However, the north node is aspect. Yeah, we got an amazing stuff. We got the one of the nodes. It doesn't even matter if it's south or north node connected to the other person's moon. It's a beautiful thing. That shows us that she, again, there is some that could indicate some kind of a bit of fate. The north node is where we want to go, where we want to evolve to, and if it's connected to the other person's moon, then it shows us evolvement emotionally, or a strong emotional connection, feeling the sense of fate. Could be like purpose. There's a purpose in this connection. We have his moon at 23 degrees. Oh no, never mind. We don't know. We don't have his time. So the moon could be like 10 degrees in either way. So it could not be a conjunction. Sorry, we don't know that. But if it is, then it would give you the kind of sense of like destiny, like this person is important for me. That is something that could happen here. We do have Saturn. Again, I love Saturn connection. Is a Saturn connection not doing anything to the personal planets here? Where's his Saturn? Yeah, his Saturn conjuncting her Sun. That can talk about a long-lasting relationship. We do have that here. So this is not a bad. Also, like, look, we got it twice. We don't know it here. Okay, here we don't know if this is really true because we don't have his exact time. But here we do have her exact time. So they do have definitely a conjunction between the moon and the north node. Again, that would give you some sense of purpose, like this. It doesn't always have to mean like we stay together. It could be that they inspired each other, that gave them like purpose in any way, inspired them to do some creative art or something like that, to give them some kind of purpose. We do have that here. What else do we have? I'm sorry, I'm getting a bit tired. It's a bit harder to concentrate now. But you see a lot of blue lines. There's a lot of positive stuff. Let's check out the negative stuff. We were talking about this. We got Mars. Mars in opposition with the moon can be something that can be difficult. Do I think it really was? No, because we do have this amazing trines. We do have his sign trining her moon, so that can talk about support. However, again, we don't know how awake and ascended they are, but a moon in opposition to Mars can talk about the Mars person being aggressive, and that of course can play out in many ways. If the person actually is aggressive, and then I remember what I did in the first video, we're going to do it again, and then we will see that there is nothing to worry about. It could be, but I remember I checked that earlier. We're going to check about his. So if you see something like this and you say, oops, that could be a bad thing, what we do then is that we check the person's chart. And now this is Arod, okay? And we're going to check his Mars. Come on, it's again buffering. Okay, and we see his Mars over here. It does not form any negative connection. We do have a Moon-Mars sextile, so that's a good thing. We don't have any squares, anything nasty stuff connected to his Mars. So this is a healthy Mars, okay? If there would be like a lot of squares connected to this Mars, that would be somebody who would have some kind of karma when it comes to, I don't know, sexual trauma, anger issues, something like that. And then it depends on your level of maturity. Have you overcome that or not? This is a healthy Mars. So we do have a healthy Mars conjunct, opposing her moon. So that's not a very bad thing, you know. What it could mean here is that he was taking charge in the connection, that they maybe had some differences, yes, but that could be something that could even add on to the relationship. Oppositions don't always have to be a bad thing. But again, this is a healthy Mars. Also, it is in Taurus, which is not a very like aggressive sign anyway. But it could be something that could highlight I dominate you, I overpower you. In the video about Brad Pitt and Jennifer Aniston, I did a little detour talking about Johnny Depp and Amber Heard, and they have a Mars-Moon connection as well. Her Mars, his Moon in conjunction, and that by itself highlights who was the aggressive person. It was her, especially her Mars is in Capricorn. Capricorn is connected to the devil energy, and that can be controlling. And somebody who has an unhealed Mars in Capricorn can be a quite nasty person. So even the astrology shows that who is the perpetrator and who was the victim in this relationship, and it clearly shows. I mean, there's enough proof out there, but even astrology shows here Amber Heard was the perpetrator. She was the aggressive one. She was the one hitting him. But again, we don't see that here. I don't know these people, okay? I don't know what was going on behind closed doors, but this would not give me any worries, especially since he does have a healthy Mars. So Mars energy is also like taking the lead, taking control, taking action. So that could be the way this transpired between those two. But if you see something like this, make sure if the other person's Mars is healthy, because that could be a nasty combination. That could be even worse, like a square. That could be like highly toxic. It could be volatile. Could be like even getting into physical fights. That what Mars could stand for as well. But again, it's in Taurus. Taurus is kind of like harmless. Like in Aries, like an unhealed Mars in Aries person, ooh, that could get physical, for example. But again, Aries, I'm not saying like every Mars in Aries is like this. No, definitely not. Aries can be beautiful energy. That can be somebody who's has a lot of energy when it comes to exploring, traveling. Aries not so much traveling, but like exploring, sports. Somebody who's like a jock, and it always depends on how this energy is channeled. Is this a healthy Mars, or is it something that needs to be overcome? We don't worry about this in this connection, so I don't see anything like this going on. If it did happen, again, I don't know anything about the news, so I don't know if there was anything like violent going on. So if so, you can drop that in the comments. I might be mistaken, but just looking at the astrology, I would not think so. So why did this not last? They could have made it last with this connection. They have a lot of beautiful stuff. I assume it was not meant to be. She was meant to grow a lot, maybe to clear this Venus moon square, so she can attract a divine counterpart. So maybe this was just to prepare her. Yeah, I don't see a lot of nasty stuff going on here, to be honest. What are those squares? Jupiter, another personal planet. Yeah, I would... Like, again, we do have a square between Saturn and... is that his sun as well? Let's see, Saturn. Her Saturn is 8 degree. And then we do have his sun at 4 degree. Yeah, that is forming a square. So maybe they were together, but they were not happy. We do have 5th house placement. No, it's like her 5th house. She's somebody who likes to have fun with the Mars in the 5th house. No, maybe this was dance energy. Maybe it wasn't like very fun. I don't know. But again, we don't have his houses. But just looking at the astrology, let's check out the composites. I forgot to do that with the Chris Judd guy, but let's do it here. Here we don't really see a reason why it didn't work out, except maybe like this, or it was not meant to be. It was meant to be to grow, but to prepare her for a divine counterpart. That is something that could have happened. Let's check the composite between those two. composite, which is like, what was that tab? Okay, the composite. The composite is the midpoint. So it is taking both of their sun signs and showing where is the middle of that. Did I already explain it in this video? I don't know, I explained it so many times, but we're going to go over this right now just to show you what we're dealing with. So we got the moon in Pisces here, and we got the moon in, where's your moon? Scorpio. So what this would be, it would be the middle of those two. You know, we got it here in Scorpio, here in Pisces. The middle would be somewhere in Capricorn, I assume. And then we do the same with the sun. The sun, of course, would be here in Leo. It's the middle between those two. Then Venus, we got one Venus here, and where's the other Venus? I keep forgetting. Where's your Venus? There. So that could be like somewhere in the middle, like around Cancer and Leo. So we do that. And what the composite is, it's basically, and you see it, it is right here. It is the third energy. Two people come together, and here we checked how do they interact with one another. And here we do have a third energy. The third energy is the relationship itself. So this is the birth chart of the relationship. It's the third energy, okay? And here we do have, this is not a bad thing, the opposition between the sun and the moon. My twin flame and I have that as well, that it would be even better, to be honest, if the sun would be in Cancer, because then we do have the opposing energy, or if the moon would be in Aquarius, then it would be opposing to Leo, to balance it. But that's not a bad thing, to be honest. We do have a lot of good stuff going on here. We do see emotional growth, like the sense of purpose. We do have the opposition. However, that's something, okay, with the sun, it's not a bad thing. But with Venus, the opposition with Venus can again talk that there's different emotional needs that needs to be balanced, and maybe that we're not completely balanced. However, like all of the aspects, from beautiful, positive aspects, all of the red lines, I mean, the opposition is not as bad as a square, but we don't really have, those are not personal planets. Saturn is pretty much unexpected, and only to Uranus. We do see Pluto. I love Pluto connections. Again, a Pluto moon trine is an amazing thing. It can show you a lot of growth. We don't know the houses, because this would be if he was born at 12. We don't know the exact time, so it's automatically put at 12. We can't discard the houses and the rising sign. We got a Leo again, the sun and the Venus. It's being proud, so we don't really see anything why this broke. But sometimes, I always say you have to make it work. If you don't make it work, then a good thing can break. Even if astrology says, that you would be a good fit. And they would be a good fit for the most stuff. And some things that can be overcome. But again, you have to do it. So I assume that he was important for her to prepare her for something bigger. That he was like a catalyst. That could be a thing. And a reason why it didn't work. Is there anything else? What did you say? Grow and learned, Maybe why she and Eric and her previous husband didn't work as, I explained that with the Leo sun. We would attract that, but that is one aspect that is shared is not enough, okay? You need multiple aspects to make it work. One thing is never, ever, ever enough. And you always have to look at the energies separately and then compare them. So why didn't they work? Sorry, I don't have another answer, but I guess they either didn't make it work, they didn't make it work, or it was a preparation for the next step in their own journey. And that can be a beautiful thing as well. We just do see with the Saturn that could be something why, or this basically. Anyway, if you like this, if this helped you in any way, Please like, subscribe, hit the bell icon, give me other ideas, whom can we do, whom can we analyze, and I will. But now I would like to say good night or good day, whatever time it is for you. And I hopefully see you in another video. But before we go, I would like, of course, to mention again, I am available for your own personal analysis. So if you have any questions about Divine Counterpart Astrology, please post them below. I will make other videos. I already recorded a complete series that I will upload with every sign, and like from Aries to Pisces, what would be Divine Counterparts connection for Aries, you know, what would be a soulmate connection for Aries, a split twin, a mirror twin, a soul twin, it's always a mirror twin, I meant mirror soul, or the monadic twin. So I did that for every sign. Stay tuned, subscribe, and then you will be able to see it and you won't miss it. But for now, bye-bye.